Welcome back to Above Average Podcast number six. Six.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis.
Did you take
Kim,
Spanish in high school?
I did. I
How many
finessed it.
years?
I think we were only like required one.
1 year?
Yeah, yeah.
That's it? Girl, I had to take I took Spanish throughout middle school and high school. I think I combined 6 years of Spanish. That I was a straight A student, except for Spanish. I could barely pass it. I don't know
Mm.
why foreign language just ain't my thing. The
No, it's not.
conjunctions and all of that,
It's
can't do
exactly
it.
the feminine,
Mm.
masculine, los, las,
Mm-hmm.
hermano, hermana. Okay, the H is silent, but y'all understand. That's why
Amos,
English is my.
amos,
That's no hablo English. That's why English is my
hablo inglés.
uno language.
No
But
hablo español.
But yeah, we're back
Yeah,
and we're surviving.
we're doing this. We're doing this thing.
We're
That
actually
thing
doing
is
this
getting
life
done.
together.
We are. Nancy and I, I mean, we're at very different points in our life, but we're also like going through the same things at the same time. It's kind of crazy.
What a thunk.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Nancy and Eve,
So
same person? What? No
what?
way.
What is it, like a 6 year age gap?
Yeah, well, I
Going
think it's like
through
five and
going
a
through this.
half. The world is also just going through it right now.
It is
We all in
R.I.P.
this together. R.I.P.
Yeah.
What? Who died?
We're all in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
are going stir crazy in this house. So that's why like I'm actually kind of
I'm
glad
trying
that
to get
we.
Nancy to go to Greece with me next week. We're trying to figure out the details. Originally she couldn't, and now she's like, let's do it. And I'm like,
Let's
well,
do it.
let's see what we can do. So it's a
We'll see. I
maybe. We'll
wouldn't
see
be
what.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to go for the full time. But actually,
Yeah.
like, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'm calling my mom and be like, Mom, can I please go to Greece with Eve?
Why do you have to ask your
Guarant-
mom? You're 27. Where are you headed to after that?
I'm going to meet Blondie in New York
Uh,
City, the Big Apple.
Well, I was there we played St. John's, which is in New York City. And so we were on our little tour bus, and they dropped us off in Times Square, and they're like, okay, you have 20 minutes. So we just ran around and looked at everything, and it was cool to see it, but that's like the only experience I have there. But,
Yeah, I don't. The last time I went to New York City, and this is going to be funny, obviously I was on TLC. So I knew what like the show TLC was because I was obsessed with the show Cake Boss. Have you seen Cake
same.
Boss? Like so obsessed. And
Yep, buddy.
so for Thanksgiving one year, I was living in Kentucky. And
Mhm.
so as a family, like we drove up to New York that year and the whole family, like we were all obsessed with Cake Boss, and so obviously like we wanted to go to the Cake Boss store. I'm actually
Mhm.
gonna send you pictures so that you can put them in like a big like
Mhm.
boo.
Did you get
Give me
to
a little
meet them?
grace. No, I did not, but give me a
Oh.
little grace. Your girl has definitely glowed up since going to the Big Apple. But went to the Cake Boss, like it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. And so that was at least like maybe, god dang, I want to say maybe like 15 years ago.
Mhm.
And so that was the last time I've been to New York. And so I'm actually really excited, obviously, like with this podcast and, us, I feel like we've found our own self confidence and empowerment within ourselves with
Mhm.
hosting this podcast.
Mhm.
I'm actually really excited to go to New York City and see like all like people's interactions of
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
if that
I
makes
could make
sense.
really good content. Yeah, just
No,
literally
for
just walking
sure.
down the strip.
Yeah, for sure. And so I'm like excited because I know the last time that I was in New York City, I struggled with being tall. And so
Mhm.
now I'm like at a different point in my life where I'm embracing it and I'm definitely more comfortable in my skin. And so
Good. Yeah.
also, like going with Blondie, I think it's going to be a fun experience. And so, yeah, like two
Mhm.
tall girls ruling the Big Apple, I'm down for it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I
Does
wish
she
you could
live in New
join
York
us.
City?
No, I'm
Maybe
not
next
entirely
time.
yeah, maybe next time. I'm not entirely sure like where she resides, to be honest.
Gotcha, gotcha. Just heading there for fun, so
She stays like going, and I respect her. Like
yeah.
she's
I
actually a really
couldn't.
dope person. You would like her.
Yeah,
1000%.
good. I want to meet them. You know?
Maybe we can get Blondie on here. Same with
Yeah.
Tasha.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in them joining, go ahead and like leave comments and then questions for them. Even
Yeah, we
I
want to
will
hear your
do,
questions.
yeah, even I will do our due diligence in trying to get them on here and see what they have to say. So, but yeah,
Yes.
that's
So if you
like,
have any questions for them specifically, us, and we'll see
yeah.
what we can do.
So we'll get that in the works, but all that to say is if I did go to Greece, it'd probably be for like 7 days, which I'm not mad about. It's
Hmm.
Greece, so we'll see.
Hmm.
Actually, as soon as we get off
My
recording, I'm looking.
Yeah, my family is not a very big all-inclusive, so we're not doing all-inclusive, but like we have planned this fun. Like we're going on a sailboat and like we're doing a lot of cool stuff, I promise.
Yo, I'm so jealous. Like at the time when we were like talking about going, I was not able to go
Mhm.
because of work, but now like circumstances have changed and
Mhm.
crap happens, and so I could go now. Just
Yeah,
put it that way.
we'll
And
see.
I'm
We'll see
like,
what
I'm
we can
so
do.
mad because had I been able to look into the future, I would have been like, let's do it, let's book it.
Let's do it. Let's book the trip. Yep,
Yeah. So
we'll see what we can do.
my
Yeah, but
fingers are
I'm super
crossed.
excited for it. I've been like go, go, go this last couple months. Like I just moved into my place in Madison and this is our second month here and I've only spent I think a total of 6 nights here.
Hmm.
So I've been go, 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 go. And I'm so excited for Greece, but I'm also excited to like sit down.
I feel that. I think, like, I want you to enjoy Greece, although you have
Hmm.
been going, and I totally understand what that's like, but that's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and
I
so
know,
you
I'm
need to
excited.
enjoy it while you can. Use that as your vacation, but like I can totally understand how you just want to like take a breath. And
Yeah,
honestly, if I were you,
yeah.
I'd want to just be like laying in bed 24/7. So,
Yeah, so I'm super excited to go. It's just I've been in this new place for 2 months and I still have boxes and crap lying around all over the place. And it's not a clean space makes me have a clean mind. So my mind is not where it needs to be right now. Yep.
no, I feel
And I'm
that.
not looking forward to
Yeah.
the flights because I travel cheap, so I'm in the boondocks and plane, and that's gonna be a rough one for
Yeah.
what an 8 hour flight, but we'll get through it.
You
I'll
can do
watch
it.
some
Enjoy
movies
it.
and yeah, take some melatonin, hopefully knock myself out.
Yep. You'll be good. I know whenever we drove to Houston and I was driving back, this was Eve, y'all. She was like knocked out in the passenger seat. Actually, I do have a
The
picture.
pictures
So,
that Nancy has of it is insane. Oh my.
ew, your
Oh,
face is red. Are you embarrassed?
well, one, yes, I'm embarrassed, but two, it's hot in here. I need to go turn the
No, as
AC up.
soon as I said I have a picture of Eve like passed out, here I am like driving an hour and a half back basically by myself while she's the passenger princess. Like, way to keep me company. But
I'm not making
yeah,
excuses, but my doctor recently, I'm doing a sleep study soon because they think I have idiopathic hypersomnia, which
where
is
you
it's
can't
the
sleep.
opposite.
Or no, you
No,
sleep too
it's the
much. You
yeah,
sleep too
it's the
much.
opposite of insomnia. And like the sleepy time hormones are just like constantly going in my brain. Because you put me in a car, give me 5 minutes and I'm out. Put me on a bed, like I can't be productive if I'm sitting down or laying down because I will pass out in like 5 minutes.
I'll tell
It's
you,
insane.
I did a sleep study when I was in college because I literally had insomnia. Sleep
Hmm.
studies are so uncomfortable. Like,
Hmm.
they put all these electrodes like with goo in your hair to keep it like to stick and then all over your
Hmm.
body, and then if a lead comes off, whatchamacallit, while you're asleep, then the nurse has to come in, wake you up, reattach it. It is literally like I don't know how accurate they can get a read on your sleep based
Hmm.
off of that. I just don't
I'll be
think that's
passed out the whole
possible.
time. I'm not worried about it. I will be
But
passed out the whole time.
you on the other hand, I don't think you'll have that problem.
No, I don't think I will either. I think I'll just be passed out the whole time.
Enough about us and what we are up to. Today, we are going to discuss
From what, please? This is a big one.
dating.
Dating. The world of dating as a woman. What a mystical place. Yeah, double thumbs down. A double thumbs down. Yeah, um, it's rough out there. I mean, dating in general is just no bueno. No bueno. It's one of the hardest things that you have to do, and I think personally for me, I think one of the biggest decisions in someone's life is deciding who you're gonna marry. Not to say that you have to get married or la da 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 da, but it's something that I want to do, and I think one of the biggest decisions that I'm gonna make in my life is choosing the person I want to spend the rest of my life with.
I totally understand that.
Nancy and I have gone through it a little bit together because Nancy has decided that it's her time, that she wants to start dating again and stuff like that. And I've gotten to experience it a little bit with her, and the ups and the downs and all of the funny things that have happened. It's amazing.
Yeah,
We've
literally,
been
I
through
kid
good
you
times and
not.
bads.
This is stuff that it's my luck. That's the
Hmm.
problem, is like, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get back out into the dating world. Let me just throw in, like, I want a sugar mama. I, like, am depending on you to take care of me and buy me stuff. And I'm like, no.
We're not going to say anybody's full names here. We're going to have our little personal nicknames for them just to keep their identity safe. But yeah, we're going to kick it off with a nice little story about Nancy and Whoop Boy.
Yeah, it was funny. I finally started, like, Eve knows this, but I was ready to put myself back out there. And so I'm like, never in my life did I think I would try dating apps. Homeboy literally booked a flight. He lived in another state. And like
Mhm.
literally less than a week later, he booked a flight and was like, "Hey, I'm coming to College
Was
Station."
was
And
this
I'm
on
like,
Hinge? Was this on Hinge that you met him?
"Yeah, I think it was on Hinge."
Yeah, so start
And
from the
so,
beginning. You were on Hinge and finally decided to create a profile and you matched with this one guy, right? And I was hearing about it, Nancy was texting me about it. Next thing I know, Nancy texted me and she's like, he booked a flight. And I'm like, to where? And she's like, to see me. And I was like, girl, this is how you get kidnapped. This is how, like all those murder shows and stuff. That's how this happens. I was like, I was not okay with it that she was just gonna be alone with this random guy that she was gonna go pick up.
no, I wasn't. You remember, I was like, "Is there any other way? Is there any other
Mhm,
time that you can come? Because this is the weekend that my mom and my stepdad are in town. We're going
mhm,
to my stepsister's son, so my nephew's first birthday party. Like, come
mhm.
on, man. Like,
Like,
this is moving a
maybe
little
ask,
bit too fast."
maybe ask before you book the flight.
No,
I
yeah.
think he was
So,
just excited to see my girl Nance, which kudos to him.
I,
I'm always excited to see her, but yeah, Nancy reached out to me and she was like, "Girl, I'm not doing this alone. I am not doing this alone." And I was like,
fly your butt down here on my own dime. Like, I actually, okay, it was my mom. She has like thousands of miles. And so I was like,
"Yeah."
"Mom, can you please fly Eve down? I can't do this by myself."
Hmm.
And so
But
thankfully, my
I was
mom,
actively in college, like
she was.
actively in college taking in-person classes.
Yep.
And Nancy's like, "No, screw you. You're coming here. You're
Yep.
now,
So,
now." So I took a Friday off and I flew down to Texas. And yeah, but this is the
yeah.
thing, Nancy threw me into the fire because Woot Boy was at the airport and she's like, yeah, just go find him. Just go find him and meet him. And I'm like, Nancy, this isn't your guy, not my guy. Why am I meeting him first? And because Nancy was picking us both up from the airport. So
Intentionally flew Eve in to get in the same time that Woot Boy got in because I was like,
I'm,
if anybody's gonna meet him first, I want it to be Eve.
yep, but I was just walking around and I was like, I've seen a picture of this guy online and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna kill Nancy first off. And but then I just see a 6'8" guy walking around. I was like, oh, that's
That's
gotta be
him.
him. So I go and yeah, and I meet
Yeah.
him, and he was like, oh, you must be Eve, and I was like, yeah, that would be me. And I was like, you must be Woot Boy. Nice to meet ya.
Well, at
And
the
that's about
time,
all
he
the
wasn't.
words.
Yeah, at the time, He was not considered Woot Boy. Now, fast
Yeah.
forward, he was here for like two days, maybe three.
Mhm.
Long story short, even him flew back home, and I was talking to him that whole rest of the week. It was fine, but I kid y'all not, every single phone call we were on, he was, "Can you buy me a Whoop? Can you buy me a Whoop? Can you buy me a Whoop?" And I'm like, "No. What do you think that I'm not like what?
Mhm.
What?" And so, he is forever known as Whoop Boy.
It was just a weird experience altogether because he just wasn't mature enough for you. I can't remember how old he was,
He
but
was, how old was he?
I want to say like 23.
I want to, yeah, 20, 23 or 24, which I was like, okay, he
Mhm.
is younger. I typically don't like go for guys younger than me, but you know what?
Mhm.
Let me give it a shot. And I was
Yeah.
reminded of why I do not. And so he is
Yeah,
forever
he
known as Whoop
was.
Boy.
Nancy and I, we went and did an escape room and brought this guy along, and Nancy paid. He did not. But we were in the
Y'all,
escape
he
room.
didn't pay for like one thing.
No, he didn't. Not a single thing. But we were in this escape room, and Nancy and I are going ham. We take these things seriously. We're like, we're getting out, record time, we're doing this. And he was just, da, and I was about to slap him. I'm like, this is, in this household, we take this seriously. And I could not stand it. And it was one of those ones where like someone's locked in a different room, and I was locked in the different room because I was the third wheel. And Nancy and I were trying to figure it out, and he was just talking about who knows what in the corner. And eventually, I was like, Nancy, you and I, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And
So,
so
but it was
we
funny.
just
I wouldn't say y'all didn't like each other. It was more about y'all
we
like
just didn't
were,
click.
yeah, and it was actually pretty funny. But obviously, like, it's for the
And he would
better.
just say things that like automatically in my brain red flags are firing, and I'm not able to shut my mouth sometimes. And so I would be like, "Excuse me? What do
Well,
you
it was
say?"
funny. I remember, and this is where I'm kind of like a romantic in a sense of I love, what is it? They call it courting or whatever. Just like the little
Mhm.
things of getting out and pumping my
Mhm.
gas for me, or, just little things like that. I
Mhm.
remember I got out to pump the gas, and obviously you said something to him because he got out.
I
And
forgot
he
about
was like,
this.
"I can do it for you." And I'm like, "No, that's okay. I already started it."
Yeah. No, Nancy got out of the car, and it was me and Woot Boy just sitting in the car. And I look at him, and I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing right now?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "You are here to try to win this girl's heart, and you're gonna sit your butt here and play on your phone while she gets out and pumps gas? You didn't even offer. You were just playing, I don't know, Flappy Bird on your phone or something." And like, I'm talking bare minimum. Like, do something.
Yeah.
Try to like anything. And
Yeah.
it was, yeah. You know what the biggest tell was that he wasn't gonna last?
What?
Sonny did not like him.
No, he didn't. Sunny did not like him. It was so
Yeah,
funny. Like,
yeah.
Sunny, he has a good feel on men because when I adopted him, he was 4 months old. But even with my brothers and my stepdad, like he knows them. But I
Mhm,
think he was abused by males when he was younger, and
mhm,
so he has a good read on guys, and so
mm.
Sunny did not like Woot Boy from the beginning. So,
No, he did not.
but
Yeah.
I kid y'all not. That weekend was probably like the longest weekend of my life.
But it's
And
also like we went to like one of your family reunion, or like not a family reunion, your
it was a birthday
niece's
party.
birthday party, and he was just there with us. And like it was already a little weird that I was there, but it's not as weird because Nancy and I are like best friends. But then there's just this random guy, and it's like he kind of invited himself, and the fact that he just showed up on the weekend that this was happening.
Was trying, like, I had already like asked him. I said, "Can you please move your flight?" Like,
Mhm,
he said, "No, I can't. This is the only weekend," which already like
mhm,
annoyed me. So I was
mhm.
already like,
Yeah,
let the weekend pass by. But all that to
yeah.
say is, I do have very high standards to when it comes
Mhm,
to dating. Now, do I care that they are shorter than me? I think, obviously, I'm taller than my mom. So I'm
mhm,
6'10". Mom 6'7". She's probably like 6'5" because she's shrunk with age.
Mhm.
and my mom married 5'10". So obviously I grew up, and even my aunt, she's 6'7", she married 5'10". Like,
Mhm.
dating or marrying shorter wasn't really like
It
new
wasn't
to me.
out of the normal for you.
Yeah. And so, considering I'm significantly taller than them, I was like, is 5'10" pushing it for me? And
Yeah.
so,
And you,
but I,
it's like, and not for us, I think for us, it's not height does not matter, and it matters to a certain. We're not going to say, no, I can't date you because you're shorter than me, but I think we have like a cutoff. Not like a
mm-hmm,
hard cutoff and like, oh, if you're shorter than 6 foot, you're out. But at least for me, when I was in the dating scene, it was, could I comfortably like stand next to you and like look in the eye and things like that. So it was like around 6'2" ish for me, which yes, is still very tall for men, but for me, it's not. And so height, it matters to a certain point. And I think that's how it is for a lot of tall women. I
yeah,
can't speak for all of them. I think there's a lot of them that are like, no, you have to be taller than me. But I think a lot of us are very much, it's circumstantial. And we're
yeah,
not like hard cut off if you're shorter than me. No.
yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, I'm gonna be open about it. Like, I am talking to somebody that's shorter than me, six
Hmm.
five, and so, like, yeah, that's shorter than me, but I've dated 6'5". Oh, it's not bad. As long
Hmm.
my thing is I need the guy to be confident in himself,
Yep.
where that's what I find really attractive in a guy is confidence. And without confidence, I'm kind of just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a turn off. You need to be
Yeah.
confident, one, in yourself, but then two, being with a female taller than you. Like Big Al, my stepdad, God bless, 5'10". He literally thinks that he's
He
six
acts like he's
seven.
7'6". Yeah.
Yeah, like it's hilarious. And like
Yeah.
like I want that. Big
Hmm.
Al, he's my guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think confidence adds inches to guys' height in the eyes of tall women. The more confident you are, especially with how you act around us and how you treat us, I think adds to our interest in you. Because if you're around us and you're treating us like we're bigger than you, big turn. Because
Yeah,
we're still women, we still want to feel like the female in the relationship and have that femininity to us. And it's just how you act and treat and show love to us, and that our height doesn't matter, if
right.
that makes sense.
Yeah. And so how tall is Mitchell again?
Mitchell, my significant other, he is, I want to say he's like 6'3".
Okay.
We started dating 2 years and some change ago. I met him through a mutual friend. He's in the army and he had a drill close to where I was living, and my friend invited him to stay with us, and that's how we met. But what really stood out to me was he never made a comment, never looked at me weird. It was just like I was completely average height. As soon as he walked in the door, it was nothing. Um,
Yeah.
but even before I started dating Mitchell, I never used dating apps for a
Must be
while
nice.
until about, no, I did eventually use it for like a year before I was with Mitchell. I had a high school sweetheart kind of situation where I was with for about 2 years, and there was about a year and a half gap between that and when I met Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I was on dating apps. I met a bunch of people. I would say maybe two guys that were taller than me, but none of them really panned out. Even though they were taller than me, it was a, oh my gosh, you're so tall type of beat. When they would meet me, it was they just didn't have the confidence to be with a taller woman, or they weren't looking what I was looking for. I don't date to date or to have someone to be with. I'm dating to have
Like
like a long-term
intentionally.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, but I think online dating, it has a bad rep to it. I think if it's done right, it can be very helpful for tall women because it
Yeah.
connects you with other tall people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a double-edged sword in the fact that you don't know what people want when they're on dating apps.
Yeah.
I would say the only other guy, I've dated three guys. One was my high school sweetheart, one between him and Mitchell, and that was the one I found on a dating app. And I think we dated for maybe like 3 or 4 months, and he ended up cheating on me. Yeah, so dating in college was also another huge thing to add to it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely harder to date as a tall woman because of our height and men's issues with confidence. And it's I think the biggest advice that I would have for a younger woman or younger tall woman going through this dating scene is one, don't be pressured by the standards of how everybody else dates because how we date is not the same as
Mm-hmm.
how everybody else dates. You can't just
Nope.
go to a party or go to a mall and meet someone just because you meet online or you meet through someone saying, "Hey, I know this other tall person," doesn't mean your relationship is any less viable than people that quote unquote meet in the wild.
Right.
I would say don't let that get to you. As cliche as it sounds, is just because the first guy that you meet that's taller than you doesn't mean he's the one just because he's taller than you. You
Mm-hmm.
can still have
Clearly.
standards. Yep.
Clearly.
You can still have standards and date when you're a tall woman. It's not just, oh, this is the first guy I meet that's taller than me. This is the best I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
I have to go with this. I strongly don't believe that. And three, this is a huge one for me, and I've struggled a lot with this, especially because I do have such an online presence, is comparing your relationship with others that you see online.
Yeah.
It affects me a lot because I'm like, oh my gosh, why doesn't he do that? Or, oh
Right.
my gosh, they look so happy. But then I think about how I run my social media. My social media is the very best clips of my life. I pick and choose exactly the best things. Or I want others to perceive me this way, so I purposely post this.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is not reality of other people's relationships. It takes a very long time to notice those things.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
comparing yourself, your relationship with others on social media just like isn't an accurate representation
it's not an
of,
accurate
yeah,
representation of what relationships are like, and I think
yeah,
experience of the longer you're dating or the more people you've dated, the more you'll learn what real life relationships look like, and
yeah,
it's not movie relationships. The
yeah.
relationships aren't like it's not all butterflies and fairy tales and rainbows.
Mm-mm.
It's you live with someone every single day. Just because you're in a relationship now doesn't mean everything in the world is hunky dory.
Yeah,
Life still happens, things still happen, you still have to work through them, you still have emotions, all of these different things. And I think being a tall woman just adds another layer to dating and relationships and stuff like that. And it's hard to navigate, it is. You get through it and you find a support system. Like Nancy and I
mm-hmm.
we're in very different spots in our dating lives and things like that. Like I'm in a long-term relationship. We've been in a relationship for 2 years and some change, and Nancy's just dating around, having fun right now. We're in two very different spots, but we can still relay off each other and like get advice and things like that and support each other. And I think finding people like that or connecting with other tall women and seeing what works for them and just talking to them about that can really help with feeling a sense of community and that you're not
Yeah,
alone in this feeling that you're never ever going to find someone.
yeah. I will say I obviously like said I'm talking with someone that's 6'5", but that still does it scare me in general? Yeah. Like I've been like talking to this guy for a while now, you know? And
Hmm.
so I'm like I'm just really excited about him. I've never like felt this way about someone before out of like everybody that I've dated. And so like I'm hopeful, but the pessimism in me is don't get your hopes up. I like for me, and he knows this. He knows this about me is I would much rather prepare, expect like the worst to happen, and then if it doesn't, okay, cool.
Hmm.
I'm I don't function that way. And I even told him I was like, "Bro, you're too good to be true right now. Like
Hmm.
make it make sense." And
Yep.
so I'm really excited about him and where we could go. And so, yeah,
Yep.
but
It's it's finding, and obviously there's so much more to it that we could have 10 podcasts on diving deep into different parts of our relationships and how it works as adding the height aspect to it.
yeah,
But it's a lot harder for tall women. And as soon as you realize that it's not going to be the same as all of your five four, five, six friends around you, it's going to help you a lot that your experiences are going to be different from them. There's a huge pressure and stigma around finding that person and even getting married young. The amount of people that are getting married at my age is really high, and it just blows my mind.
Same.
I see all of my friends getting engaged and married, and they're 21, some of them being 20. And I'm like, you
Yeah,
have so much of your life ahead of you. It's just because it's the societal standard doesn't mean it's what you have to conform to. And I think that's
exactly.
especially prevalent in taller women of people viewing that this is the normal standard. We're not normal.
Mm-mm.
Us tall women, we're not normal, so we don't have to conform to
Far
normal
from it.
standards.
Far
Far
from it.
from our stories are going to be so different from everybody else's because our lives are different. We are different. Our bodies are different. How we see the world is different. We have different point of views. I think it boils down to not conforming to the standards that have been set in society.
Yeah.
You learn as you go and don't settle on the first tall guy that you meet. There's more out
No,
there. There may
there
not be
are.
many, but there are more.
Right.
The guy that you meet in your hometown that's a little bit taller than you, that grew up on a farm and is never leaving that hometown, probably isn't the one for you.
Yep.
There are
Facts.
more people out there, and you need to go explore and find those people. And you don't have to have it figured out. I don't
No.
have it figured out. I'm in a 2 year and some change relationship, and I have nothing figured out. I don't know what's
I don't
going
even
on.
have, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have my life figured out right now.
Yeah,
So never,
there's.
and that's the thing is I told my mom this week while she was here, I said, Mom, never in my life did I expect to be in the situation that I am in. That's just with life in general right now.
Mhm,
Dating, work, living, like all of the above. And like I could probably actually like tear up because I just like thought that I had everything figured out
mhm,
and to know that, and I'm a very very like orderly person, and so it's like I thought I had everything figured out, and next thing you know the rug was just ripped out from under me. And so just
Life
trying to
not once will ever go exactly how you plan it to. No matter how
no,
hard you try, life will throw you curveballs, and that's the same in the dating world.
yeah,
And it's finding that person that you want to be with and want to
yeah.
work it out with. I also
And
don't
that's the
believe in
thing is
soulmates.
like, and that's what I was gonna say, like never, Eve knows my dating situation right now. Never in a million freaking years did I think that I would be in the dating position that I am in right now.
Mhm.
Never.
Yep,
And you
yep.
know what I'm going through right now. Like I'm literally shatting my pants.
Uh,
So I'm just like, Eve has been kind of like my emotional support individual. And so I'm kind of
mhm.
just like taking it day by day. And so
Yep,
it's just like
yep.
Eve said, life is never going to go the way that you planned it. So,
Yeah. Life is life, and it will never be exactly what you plan it to be. I personally don't believe in soulmates. I believe in two individuals deciding that they want to make it. Love is a choice. It's not an automatic feeling. You don't
mhm.
automatically always feel love for someone for the rest of your
Mm-mm.
life. It's a choice, and you have to work at it.
Mhm.
Don't believe that there is only one person in the entire world that you're destined to be with,
Yeah.
because you're telling me that I grew up in the same state as the one person that I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. I don't believe it. I believe that there's
Yeah.
people in the world that work better for each other than others, and you find one that you choose to make it work with, and
Mhm.
you can have a lasting, loving relationship
Yeah.
if you choose and you work through it.
Yep. That makes sense.
I don't believe in soulmates, but other than that, Nancy and I were soulmates. That were the one exception in the entire world. We're soulmates. It's meant to be. Type B.
Exactly.
If Nancy and I are married by 35, we'll go get married. We'll have a very happy long life, and we'll adopt a
Exactly.
couple kids and call it good.
1,000.
So kind of that's Nancy and I very baseline thoughts on dating. We'll probably have an episode that goes more dives a little
Yeah.
deeper into it, but we just kind of want to get it out there, our basic thoughts of it and where we are at in the dating world and relationship world. I don't think Nancy and I, both of us, either of us, are anywhere close to being married, even though we are in very different situations. I don't think it's going to happen for us anytime soon. We're working through it the same way as everybody else is. Yeah, and I don't know, Nancy, do you have any other thoughts?
No, I think we hit it pretty good today. I know
Yep,
this was a podcast that was full of a lot of things. And
a
so
lot of different things. It was
obviously,
kind of all over the
yeah.
place. If you have any questions or anything in specific that you want to talk to us about or you want us to talk about on the podcast, you can DM us on Instagram or you can email us. It should be attached to our Instagram account, but if you cannot find it, it is above.pod.average@gmail.com. We check that every day, so we'll see what you guys have to say. But thank you guys for coming and listening to this podcast. We'll definitely be doing a dating part 2 in the future where we dive in, but we just wanted to get this one out because we had so many requests for it. But we will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us.
Yep, sounds good. We'll see you guys next week.